People in UK who bought tickets since February told to be wary of suspicious activity. UK customers of Ticketmaster have been warned they could be at risk of fraud or identity theft after the global ticketing group revealed a major data breach that has affected tens of thousands of people. The company could face questions over whether there was a delay in disclosing the breach after it emerged that some UK banks have known about the incident since early April. The Guardian understands that a number of Ticketmaster customers have already had fraudulent transactions debited from their accounts, with the fraudsters spending people's cash on money transfer service ZanPay, Uber gift cards and Netflix, among other items. Ticketmaster said customers who bought concert, theater and sporting event tickets between February and 23 June 2018 may have been affected by the incident, which involved malicious software being used to steal people's names, addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, payment details and Ticketmaster login details. The breach also affects customers of two other UK websites owned by Ticketmaster, TicketWeb and the resale website GetMeIn. The company said less than 5% of its global customer base had been caught up in the breach and indicated the number directly affected was fewer than 40,000. However, Ticketmaster claims to serve more than 230 million customers a year globally. Ticketmaster, part of the Live Nation Entertainment Group, said that on 23 June it discovered that malware on a customer support product hosted by Inventa Technologies, an external third-party supplier, was exporting UK customers' data to an unknown third party. As a result, it said, some of its customers' personal or payment information may have been accessed by this third party. Digital bank Monzo was the first to spot customers' cards were being compromised. It identified in April that the common factor behind a spike in frauds was that every customer who lost money had also had interaction with Ticketmaster. On 12 April it warned Ticketmaster of the issue, but couldn't get any traction out of the company, according to Monzo's head of financial crime, Natasha Vernier. In the meantime, Monzo contacted all customers who had ever dealt with Ticketmaster, about 5,000, to replace their cards. It also told banks that are part of the UK finance group in April that it was aware of what appeared to be a significant data breach at Ticketmaster. Monzo's experience suggests that anyone who has bought a ticket through Ticketmaster should check their accounts for unusual transactions involving ZanPay, Uber, and Netflix. None of these companies were involved in the fraud itself, but were the means by which the fraudsters were able to steal money from people's accounts. Ticketmaster did not give any further information about precisely which payment details may be affected, but it warned customers, "We recommend that you monitor your account statements for evidence of fraud or identity theft." If you are concerned or notice any suspicious activity on your account, you should contact your banks and any credit card companies. The company said, based on our investigation, we understand that only certain UK customers who purchased or attempted to purchase tickets may have been affected by the incident. A page on Inventa's website, which appears to have been taken down, reveals that Ticketmaster turned to Inventa because it was having to deal with large numbers of repetitive questions from customers that fatigued agents and cost a lot of money to answer. As a result, it said, Ticketmaster now saves hundreds of thousands of dollars in unnecessary incoming support emails and contact center calls. Ticketmaster said it was offering affected customers a free 12-month identity monitoring service. There is a dedicated website, security.ticketmaster.co.uk, and customers can also email FAN. Thursday briefing, Ticketmaster breach exposed 40,000 UK customers' details. Malicious software captured UK Ticketmaster customers' payment details when they use the site. Interstellar visitor Oumuamua is probably a comet. Your Wired Daily Briefing. Today, malicious software captured UK Ticketmaster customers' payment details when they use the site. Interstellar visitor Oumuamua is probably a comet. A new heat-stable drug could dramatically reduce worldwide deaths in childbirth and more. 1. Ticketmaster breach, up to 40,000 UK customers' payment details exposed. Ticketmaster says that personal and payment details of up to 40,000 UK customers were exposed due to malicious software on a customer support product hosted by Inventa Technologies, an external third-party supplier, BBC News. The breach, which primarily affected customers in the UK who used the site between February and June this year, exposed data including names, addresses, email addresses, telephone numbers, payment details and Ticketmaster login details. The company has advised customers to monitor their accounts for fraud or identity theft and is offering a free 12-month identity monitoring service to aid in this. 2. Interstellar visitor Oumuamua is probably a comet. Oumuamua, the first interstellar object to be detected in our solar system, is likely to actually be a comet, according to a study into its acceleration behavior on its way out of the sun's reach, The Verge. The cigar-shaped rocky body has previously been suggested to be anything from an asteroid to an alien spacecraft, but European Space Agency data showing Oumuamua's unusual acceleration indicates that it's most likely to be a comet, given a speed boost by frozen gases warming and acting like little rocket thrusters, says co-author Karen Meach of the University of Hawaii. 3. New heat-stable drug could reduce worldwide deaths in childbirth. An estimated 70,000 women die every year due to severe blood loss after childbirth, but a new drug could make a major impact on that figure, BBC News. Postpartum bleeding is currently prevented using the drug oxytocin, but it's highly temperature-sensitive, which means that it can't be used in regions without refrigeration and consistent power supplies. However, a World Health Organization trial involving 30,000 women in 10 countries found that a new drug, heat-stable carbedicin, was in most cases equally effective in preventing death through postpartum hemorrhage. 4. Otherworldly wildfires are raging across Manchester moorland. Wildfires are a pretty rare occurrence in the UK, and that makes the sprawling inferno covering 6 kilometers of Greater Manchester moorland all the more impressive and dangerous. Wired. More than 150 people are thought to have been caught up in evacuations from nearby Carbrook, and 2,000 acres of moorland are thought to have been destroyed so far by the fire. Great Manchester Fire and Rescue Service said a helicopter dropped 65,000 gallons of water on the fire on Tuesday, which they describe as unprecedented in recent times. Flames spread under dry, windy conditions overnight. 5. Pokémon Quest is out now on Android and iOS. Pokémon Quest has arrived on Android and iOS today, following its May release on the Nintendo Switch, Polygon. The game has cutely cuboid graphics and stripped-down, beginner-friendly gameplay, without the turn-based combat of previous RPGs in the series. It's free to download from the Google Play Store and Apple App Store, but is billed as free to start, with in-app purchases for those who wish to progress faster or further. Popular on Wired.why is London's Central Line so hot? Science has the answer. London, it is hot. And nowhere is it hotter than on the sweltering, stinking hellscape that is the Central Line. But why, of all of London's tube lines, is the Central Line so hot and hellish? Simply put, it's old, it's very deep underground, and TfL hasn't invested much money into cooling it down yet. And, you won't be surprised to learn, cooling the tube down is seriously complicated and expensive.